Hello everyone. So in this video, I will show you how you can build an audio spaces app using Huddle01. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, I will show you the demo application which I have built for you. So yeah, I will just open first of all the server. So this is like the code which is written for audio spaces example app. I have run the server. Now I'll just write localhost 3000 and yeah, it will open up the lobby for me. So right now you can see whenever I write localhost 3000, it redirected me to this page where like it automatically generate a room ID. And yeah, like this is how the flow works. I will explain you through the code like how the room ID is generated and how we are seeing this page. So yeah, basically right now whenever you open the main page, like just enter the URL, it will redirect you to the lobby and it will automatically generate a room ID for you. So right now, like I will just select any random avatar and I will just enter my name. Let's say my name is Vraj. So I'll just enter through my name, Vraj. And once I click that, you can see I have joined the room and I will be automatically assigned as a host because this is how the SDK works. So whoever joins first will be automatically assigned as host. Now I will try to join from a different tab. So yeah, I will just use a different avatar and now I will join from a different tab. Let's say test one. And so yeah, now I will join. So here you can see that like when I previously joined, I got the role as a host, but if I join from a different tab, I'm automatically assigned as a listener role. So why does it happen? So see, it is expected that like whoever joins first is an host and whoever joins later will be a listener. So here, as I am a listener, I don't have an option to turn on my mic. But here, as I'm a host, I am obviously a speaker if I'm a host. So I have an option to turn on my mic. So let me join a few more peers and we'll explain you like how you can change the rules and yeah, how you can send directions and all. So I'll just duplicate it. I'll join from one more tab. Let's select this avatar and I will just give the name test 2. Okay, I will join again. Like you can see, whenever I join, I'm automatically assigned as a listener role. I will join through one more tab and then I will show you the whole flow how the change role works. So yeah, let's say I want this avatar and I will write test 3. Okay. So here you can see there are three listeners. Okay. So this is the me, like the host, and these are three test users. So let's see how we can assign the role. So this is the sidebar. So whenever you click on this peer, the count peers count, it will open a sidebar for you. So here there are three listeners. So let me just assign this test one as a co-host. So if I assign that user as a co-host, here you can see here you will get this toast that you are now a co-host, and also like here you can see your peer name inside a co-host list. Similarly, what I want to do is I want to assign this task to as a speaker. So I even co-host can invite the speaker. So the hierarchy will look like this. So first will be the host, then it will be a co-host, then it will be a speaker and listener. So right now there are two listeners. So I'll just make this test two as a speaker. So see here, like right now, this user is like the role of this user is changed to speaker. So right now there are four peers in our room. So in which one is the host, one is the co-host, one is the speaker, and another is a listener. And if you just click on these three dots, you will get a different drop down option. So right now, if I click from my host, so right now I'm a host here. You can see Vraj you. So right now I have a full control of this room. So I can end the spaces for all. I can leave the space for me. Then I can remove someone from a co-host. I can remove them from spaces as well. So I can kick a peer. Then if there is a speaker, I can I can invite them as a co-host or I can remove them as a speaker. So similarly for the listener, I can invite them as a co-host, speaker, or remove from spaces. Now similarly, the co-host will also have these roles, but here the only difference is that like host will be able to make someone co-host, but co-hosts will not able to make someone co-host. Okay, so they will able to make someone a speaker and listener. So right now you can see if I click on my peer, that is like I'm a co-host. I can leave the spaces or I can leave myself the co-host role, or else I can remove this person as a speaker or remove from spaces. Similarly, I can invite someone as a speaker. Now for speaker, it is very limited. Like for the speaker can just leave itself the speaker role or leave the spaces. It don't have any control like to invite listener or like change anyone else role. So yeah, that's how the hierarchy works in of roles. And this is just the like demo application which I wanted to show you. So there are few more things here. So apart from this sidebar here, you can see there's this reactions emoji. So listener will have two ability. First is to like listen to the speakers, and one more is to send reactions. So here you can see like if I just open this reactions tray, I let's say I raise my hand. So if I raise my hand here, you can see that everywhere else my hand is raised, and if I lower my hand, the hand will be lowered everywhere. So yeah, this is how the raise hand works. Similarly, like for the let's say emojis, right? So here let's say I send this emoji, and every peer inside the room will receive this emoji. Means they can see that like I have sent this reaction. So yeah, this is the demo application. And yeah, one more feature which is left is like the send speaker request. So here if I click on the here request to speak, it will send request to the host that okay, like this person wants to be a speaker. So it will get toast in bottom, or else you can accept it from here as well. So let's say I will accept here that okay, I will make this person as a speaker. So I'll just click here, and now you can see like this person is a speaker, and now they have ability to speak. So yeah, if I just want to speak, I'll just click here, I will allow the user, I'll give the permission, and here you can see you can hear the echo, right? So the audio is enabled. So that's it about the like the sample app. So here I just wanted to show you the demo app first, because you understand like what features we are going to implement, and I am going to explain you. So yeah, that's it. Now I will show you the code, like how the code looks like, and if you want to build your own order spaces app, how you can use this existing written code in your app very easily. So yeah, let's get started. So I will give you the reference from these only. Okay, so I will just leave one person as a speaker. I want to make this grid look better, so I'll just make one person remove from speaker. Cool. So right now we have one host, one co-host, one speaker, and one listener. So yeah, let's just go to the code. So I will start from like the first page, like the index page. So whenever you whenever you go to the home page, what you see first is this page.tsx. Okay, so here what happens is it will first check whether like the room is joined or not. So here you can see whenever you load this page inside a use effect, we have rendered this condition whether like the room is joined or not. So this is room join is coming from this use room hook. So yeah, make sure like you have the latest version installed of Huddle01 package. So because like most of these hooks are available in the latest package only. So yeah, please make sure you have upgraded it to the latest version. So yeah, once you have like use room hook, you can import the is room join variable from that. So this is basically a boolean which shows whether the room is joined or not. So here I will check whether the room is joined or not. If it's not joined, I will push the user to a lobby. And like before that, there is one more page which is loaded, that is this main page.tsx. So here I have used the app router. So in Next.js 13, like they introduced new app router. So here you can see like there is no pages folder, everyone is like by default the code is server side. So here you can see like here I haven't written any use client or anything, but if you go to this page, here I have written this use client because this is a client side code, and the code which you see here is like using a server side rendering. Okay, so here I've created this function create random room, which calls this API, which is like the create room API. So if you can just go through the Huddle01 docs, and you can find this API endpoint and how you can use this API to create a room easily. So yeah, this is like the create room API. You can use this API which returns the room ID as a response. So here we will get the room ID, and once we get this room ID, we will just pass this as a prop inside this intro page. So what this intro page does, let us see. So what we have done here is like the code is really written in a customized way, and like in a modularized way, such that most of the functions are written inside a separate component. So like if you just read the code, you will understand like why this component is written and what is the function of it. So it will be really easy for you if you are building your own app, and you want to integrate Huddle01 audio spaces feature inside your app. Because see here, you don't have to copy the whole code, you just copy the component and just paste it in your code and it will work, right? So yeah, that's an amazing thing to do. So here we have created this intro page here, and what this does is, first of all, it will initialize the project, it will join the lobby and will push the user through to the lobby. So here the same thing happens. So this page is loaded whenever you hit the main page, and it will just redirect you to the lobby, and it will generate first of all it will generate the random room ID. So random room is basically like you call an API and generate a room, and once that room ID is generated, it will just redirects the user to this lobby page. And once this lobby page is there, we'll see the code what's written in lobby page. So like this is the code, this is the lobby page. Now here we are doing few things. So if I just show you inside like our demo app, let me just open one more tab. So right now you can see this is the lobby page, and here we have two options. First is to change the avatar URL. Let's say I want to change this avatar URL. So whenever you click on any avatar, it will automatically set that avatar URL. And here I'll just write the name. Let's say test 4. Okay. And when you click on start spaces, let's see what happens, right? So first of all, this handle start spaces is the function which is called whenever you click here. So here first is it checks whether like lobby is joined or not. Okay, if it's not joined, you will just return the function, and you and nothing will happen. And one more thing it checks is whether the display name is entered or not. So let's say I'll just remove the username from here, and if I try to join it, it will say display name must be required, because you can't join without a display name. So that is the check which we have added here. And if everything is fine, you will just join the room. So join room is also a method which is imported from the use room hook. So yeah, this is that side. Like you can join the room, and once the room is joined, here we have used this is room join state which we have used previously as well. So here we will check if room is joined or not, and if the room is joined, we will redirect user to the main page, that is like the page which user gets after joining a room. So here you can see, like when we click on the start pages, we will get the page like this, and inside this the all the components are rendered. Now we will see all the components one by one, like which are the main components and what that does. So here you can see the main thing is like the grid. So there are two grid here. First is the speakers grid, where you will see the list of speakers, host, co-host. Everyone is a speaker by default, right? Like host and co-host are definitely a speaker, and speaker is also a speaker. So here you can see in the upper grid you will see the list of speakers. In the bottom grid you will see the list of listeners. So yeah, that's it. Like I will show you how the grid layout works. Okay, so yeah, I will show you the grid layout. The grid layout is will start from here. I'll just navigate to the grid layout, and here you can see that the grid layout or tsx is created. So everything is inside a components. You will just have to read the code, like what component is built for what purpose. So here this grid layout basically has like two grids, as I said. So one is for speaker, one is for listeners, and here we will filter the roles based on this. I will just increase the size. Yeah, so here you will filter the role based on the current role, right? So there are two things here. So see, this use peers hook is used to get all the peers inside a room. But here the peers hook, the use peers hook doesn't return the me peer. Okay, so the peers list which we get from use peers hook will have all the peers except me peer. So for me peer, like the current peer which I joined, I need to use import me from this use Huddle01 hook. So yeah, there are two. We have to check this two times. So first for the speaker role, we will check whether me role is like host co-host speaker or not. So for that, like I've simply just created one array list, backlist, blacklist, and I will check whether if the user's role is peer or listener, then that user will be shown inside the listeners grid, and if it's not, then it will be shown inside a speakers grid. So that's it. Similarly for the peers, I will just check whether the user role is host, co-host, or speaker, or whether the user role is uh what we can say the listener or peer, then that will show it inside the listener script. So yeah, this is basically the logic which we have used to like filter out the peers based on their roles. And here inside this grid card itself we have written some more code. So yeah, here I will show you like what we are doing it. Okay, So this few code is like the event listeners. I will explain you later, like that are used for to receive, to read the data which is received. So before that, I will just show you the basic grid logic. So here you can see, like here we are sending the peer ID, display name, role, avatar URL, and everything inside a grid card. So from this grid layout, it will render each card for each peer. So yeah, that's how the logic works. Now apart from this grid card, what else is there? We'll just see the code here. So here you can see we are loading the grid layout. One more thing is the sidebar. So let's see how sidebar works here. So we'll just go through the sidebar code. Now here the sidebar, uh we have declared the global state for that to check whether the sidebar is open or not. So let me show you that file as well inside of a global state. So inside this store, we have created this create handler slice, and here there are multiple global states which are declared. So you can just read the variable name and you will understand like why that state is created. So like for avatar URL and the display name as well, we are using the global state, and like whenever user enters that the display name and like the selects the avatar, it will be first stored inside a global state, and when user joins the room, we are setting up the avatar URL and display name for that me peer. So yeah, that's the thing here. Okay, so yeah, now you can see that these are the states which we have created, and so for the sidebar only as well, like we have created one state. Now here we will also navigate through the code, like what else is written. So you can see the view component is imported here, and inside this view component, the peers hook, this peers hook is the main which is rendering all of the data. So I will show you the exact the file exact the UI layout, so you will understand it better, right? So we have understood the code for this grid layout. Now let's see how this peers code is written. So for that, like you can see for every peer there are different options as well. So if I just click here, I will get this option. Okay, like for co-host and all, I will get different like the drop down options. Now for if I'm a co-host, I will get a different options. Okay, similarly, so yeah, right here I am actually a speaker, right? So if I'm a speaker, I can't get any options for a co-host and host. I will get options only for me itself and for a listener, even for not a listener, right? Like speaker has only the ability to like leave its speaker role or leave the species. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, we are entering this peers list based on the roles, and we are filtering it out. So let's see how that things are done. So for that, like we have done this thing peer list. So we have created this component peer list, which you can see as well. So it's a component only. So yeah, basically this peer list will display the what this does is this will display the avatar, the name of the peer, and we'll have some these options to mute and all. So we will see what that does. So yeah, first is this thing where we are just sending up the class name, title, and so on. So yeah, the peer list is here. Now inside a peer list, we are sending peers metadata. So this is like the main file which is handling that which drop down we need to show. Okay. So inside this, you can see we are sending the props here, like what is the role, whether the hand is raised or not, like the mic is active or not, on accept, on deny. So lots of things we are like the whatever data we needed, we are sending it as a prop inside this component. And yeah, here basically we will just render the drop down list. So for that, here the logic is written, so just try to understand the logic. So see how we want to show the drop down. So here the drop down will be shown based on the roles, right? So first we'll check if it's a host. Host has all permission. Okay, so if it's a host, just show the drop down for every user. So if right now here you can see, like if I'm host, I will get the drop down for all the users. Then what else? If I am currently a co-host and my me peer is equals to peer ID. So what does this mean? That I am a co-host. Okay, I am co-host right now, and the role which for which I want to show this drop down is same. So if my current role and the peer on which I'm clicking is same, then I will show this option, right? The drop down option, because see the co-host won't get any option for a host. So here we need to write a condition such that like host have all the ability, co-host will have ability only for itself, and for the lower roles, similar for speakers and listener. So we have written a permission for that to check whether like what is the current role of the peer, and based on that we are rendering the drop down list. Okay, so this is the, like basically a drop down list which we get here. So yeah, that's how the like the peer list are rendered. And yeah, if you just go to your peers.tsx, here you can see like your same, we are filtering out the user. So filtering out the peers, basically like your first will filter for the host, similarly for co-host, speakers, and like listeners. Okay. So yeah, here as well, like we need to check for both me dot role. Like obviously, like the peers hook will return the peers inside the room, but not the me peer. So every time we have to check for from in the peers array and inside the me role. Okay, so yeah, this is how like the peers are rendered in the sidebar. There are a few more things which I want to explain you. So here you can see, here we are getting this peers count. Okay, so this peers count is simply written inside this bottom bar logic. I will show you the bottom bar. So yeah, here you can see this peers logic is written here. I will just write count. So yeah, this is the code which is written. Okay, so object dot keys peers filter. So here for what we have done is like we have incremented like the current peers array with one. Why? Because see, the peers hook not every time contain the me peer id, so that's why we have to increment one. If I don't write +1, it will show inaccurate number, because the peers hook will return the peers excluding me peer. But still we have written here a condition just to check, like in case if like use peer hook also have the me peer, then just we want to get rid of it, right? So that's why I just written one filter condition to check if the like return the length of all the peers except the me peer, and just increment it by 1. So that's how we are getting the total number of peers inside a room. So now the sidebar logic is also like you understood, right? Like how we have rendered the sidebar and all. So what else we want to understand is the speaker request. So if I just click here, go here, and I click here request to speak, here you can see I will get this model. And once I click here, the host will get a request to speak, right? Like they get that, okay, this listener wants to be a speaker, and if I accept it, that user will become a speaker. So yeah, we will see how this things is working, right? So see, there is one method that is send data, which is used here. I'll just write send data and we'll try to explain you how things are working. So inside this request to speak model, what we're doing is whenever you click on the send request button, it will basically call this method send data, which is like imported from use app util tool, which is provided from Huddle01 React SDK. So yeah, once you use this hook and just import the send data from that hook, you will use it to send the data to multiple peers. So here you have to pass two things. First is like the peer IDs to which you want to send the data. So first we'll filter out like what is the peer ID of the host and co-host. So yeah, based on that we will assign the data. So right now here you can see we have filtered out the peer IDs of host and co-host, and we'll send this request only to these peer IDs. Okay, because we don't, obviously like only host and co-host should get the permission for a speaker, right? Like no other person even can accept it. So we'll just send to the host and co-host. This permission will send it to only host and co-host. So yeah, here we'll send this request, and once we send it, so there is this event which is used to read the send data. So room data received. If I just write here, you can see we are just using this event listener. So use event listener is also hook which is imported from Huddle01 React SDK. So basically using this hook, you can read to any event. So it has one event that is room data received, and when you read this event you will get access to this data, and you will basically read the data from this event. So yeah, here we will first check like what data is sent inside this event, and we'll check whether the current user is host or a co-host. If it's the current user is host or a co-host, we will just like show the request that okay, this person wants to become a speaker. And yeah, for that like we have used some the global states and like use states to just show and render the things conditionally. So that's about it. And if we accept it, so there is this method called change peer role, which is used to change peers role to a different roles. So here let's say like I want, once I accept the request, I want that the user's role should change to speaker. So that's why the change peer role method is used here, where I just pass the requested peer IDs, and here I will just write to speaker. So the whenever I accept the request, it will change the requested peer peer to speaker. So that's how the requesting things works. And similarly, we'll show you how the things work for sending reactions as well, right? So as you are sending the request for a speaker, similarly we will send the reaction to all the peers inside the room. So we'll show you how we are doing it. So now again I will just write send data. So here you can see that is the reactions are sent from this emoji tray component. So here the code for to send the reactions is written. So yeah, here you can just see what code is written. So whenever like you send any emoji, we call this method send data, and it will just send that reaction. And also here we have to use the global state to just manage the reaction for me peer. Okay, so whenever you send the data, that event will be emitted for other peers only. So you can't like read that event on your own. Okay, and so basically it's also like expected, right? You want to send data to other peers only, like for itself you already know like you want to send this data. So for that what you can do is you can just create one global state and like use it to set the reaction for your own. So here whenever you're sending the data to other peers, just make sure like you have one global state which manages the reaction for yourself as well. So here you will send the data to other peers, and here you can see I have written the star. So previously when we have sent the data, we have sent the list of peer IDs, but here we have written the star. So what does the star indicates? Star is basically like you want to send data to everyone. Okay. So yeah, which will here I will just write star to which sends the data to each and every peer inside the room. So yeah, it sends the data and we'll just read that using the room data received event, like similarly how we have done for the speaker request, right? So here I will just write room data received, and we are just reading it inside the grid card because like we need to show the reactions inside the grid card itself, right? So yeah, inside this grid card we'll just read this event, and from that we will show that reaction inside a grid itself, inside a grid card. And also like we have used the set timeout to just like remove the reaction after like 5 seconds, because we want the reaction won't stay there for a longer time. So we'll just remove that reaction automatically after 5 seconds. So yeah, that the basic code is written here, and you can just read out the code and like look at the components which are made here. And the components are written in really a great way, such that like if you are building your own application, you can just copy paste the component and like use it in your own app. Like you can just copy this grid layout and grid card code to create the grid which you have created inside this demo app. So yeah, the you can do it in a very easy way. Just follow just read the code properly of the sample app and just follow along like what things are written there, and will easily understand like how you can do it for your how you want to do it for your own app. So yeah, that's how like you can build your own audio spaces. Yeah, I hope you learned something new in this video, and looking forward to see some cool apps built using Huddle01 SDK. So yeah, thank you for watching this video.